All right, y'all, when you come in, go ahead and mute yourself, especially if you were on our team meeting last night. For my group, squirrel, all the things, squirrel. Okay, so we're going to get started. So obviously this is our Choose to Cruise group, and I'm so excited because tonight we're going to have people speaking who have already earned a level of the incentive, which is super awesome. So that's really good for you guys who have not earned a level yet, because then you can hear all these things of how people earned, and you can figure out how to put these things into your business. Okay, so I want you to drop in the chat how it's going for you so far. How is the incentive going for you? Are you like, yes, I'm rocking and rolling, crap, I need to pull it together? Whatever it is, how's it going for you? Okay, and as you drop these things in the chat, I want you to listen to my challenge for you. Wherever you are lacking, I want you to pay particular attention to what people are saying in that area. So if you're like, crap, it's sponsoring, you need to be listening to these people who are like, I've sponsored this many people, I've done this, okay? Whatever it is, you need to be looking, listening, paying attention. And not just that, wherever you are lacking, I challenge you to go find a training on YouTube that is not from someone in this group, because you're hearing from us tonight, okay? You're hearing from a lot of different directors, superstar consultants, okay? You need to find one that's not from someone in this group. You have to train yourself, okay? Okay, slow and steady, steadily progressing, love it, working hard, yes, perfect. I love all those things. Okay, so our incentive reminders, celebration at sea, okay? You're either getting SFR registration, going to Alaska with two people, you and someone else, right? Or you're gonna be in the top 75 to Netherlands, Belgium, river cruise. If you've never been to the Netherlands or Belgium, let me assure you it is fabulous, okay? Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. If you like beer, Belgium is your place, trust me, okay? We love the Netherlands and Belgium. We've been to both. So we are 2.5, a little over 2.5 months into the incentive. That's exciting, you guys, because that means we have 3.5-ish, okay, months to keep going. So if you're like, I haven't earned my level yet, okay, you have plenty of time. You just have to get your butt to work, all right? So it ends, our incentive period ends midnight, January 31st. Pretty sure last year was December. So that's huge. You have an extra month, and it's midnight, but it's not midnight Eastern time or Central time, okay? It's gonna be your Mountain Standard, Pacific, whatever time, okay? So you have even extra time to get it in. You can literally stay up and work to get it in, okay? So we also have extra points this month. This is huge, 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 huge. Today, I posted on my team page, I did this for a reason, everybody who could almost be certified, okay? Why? Well, because if they were your frontline before the qualification period, instead of 250 points, you get 500 points when they hit certified, all right? If you have sponsored them during the qualification period and they hit certified, okay, you get 1,500 points for that person's promotion. And they're doing this just for October. This is huge. And this is something that should be pushed with your team, okay? Your leader should know everything. They should know all of this, okay? And then what else we have? Each consultant who promotes from lead to director in October, that's another 1,500 points when it was only 1,000. You guys, that's huge for you. Huge, 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 okay? You need to be working with your teams, period. All right? So that is the rundown of what we had before we get started. I'm super excited. These are in order, okay? So of who's speaking, we have Sylvia, who is a director. We've got Paulina, who's a director. Leslie, who is a superstar consultant. She earned level 1 today. So she's like raring to go. This is super exciting. Katrina, who's a star director. Then we have Emily, who's a superstar consultant, and she's about to be a director. And Leslie too. We're just going to put it out there. So everybody, like, no pressure, y'all. You're about to be directors. Surprise. Okay. We've got Mindy, who is a director. Whitney, who's a superstar director, and me, who's a superstar director. That is who is going to be speaking to you guys today about what they've done to earn the incentive so far. So we're going to start with Sylvia. Let's go, girl.
There we go. Okay. So one thing that has helped me this whole year is my word. So my word is uncomfortable. Okay. And I chose uncomfortable because I'm pushing myself to go beyond my comfort zone and just get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Okay. That has helped me so much, especially with sponsoring, which has always been my weakness. So you put yourself out there. How else are you going to get people to join or even party with you? Okay. And I'm looking at my notes, just so you know. Get used to hearing no. It's not going to kill you. You're just going to be like, okay, no worries, and move on. So try to have these conversations with people to join. If they don't want to join, try to get them to host. If they don't want to host, keep them as customers, treat them like gold. Okay. No doesn't mean you just cut them off. Okay. And you're not going to die. So the way I started off with this incentive, because it's my first trip incentive, with the last spring incentive, I got level 3 because I planned. And that was one of the first things that Whitney and Anya talked about when we were at SFR was plan. So I did my little plan. Seriously, I think the last day we were at SFR in Myrtle Beach, and I sent it to Whitney, and she's my sponsor, and pretty much just had it laid out. And then I went from there, I went to break it down to how I want to do that. I was hoping to promote to director that first month. I didn't. So I got the 500 for superstar consultant, but September I did. So I got that 5,000 points for promoting, and the paid at rank is going to be at director. So I had to adjust. Okay. And it's all about, you have to adjust, but you really want to push it. So my biggest thing was having 6 to 8 parties a month, because my plan is to try to flip to a month. Okay. Because front loading your sponsorship, like sponsoring by front loading your people, will give you time to help them get certified. I was lucky because the 3 people I have certified since August have, like, the ones that joined have become certified either right at their launch party or shortly thereafter. Okay. But when we're talking about sponsoring, my biggest thing is you just don't sponsor for numbers. Those people are still your teamies. They're going to help you get your incentive, but they're going to be in your team after the incentive. So you want to still work with them like you would if there was no incentive. Okay. So my biggest thing to do is launch parties. I help them with their launch parties. I give them the choice, but for the most part, I like to do them. It sets them up for success, because after my launch party, it becomes their VIP group, and they still have that party like blueprint for their parties in the future. Okay. I tried to help them get to certified as close as possible. One of my girls went beyond that. But when you're doing the launch party for them and you have them help because they need to work it, and you're also putting it out there that it's for their launch, people will buy from them. People will support them. Okay, so that launch party is usually pretty big for my teamies that I've had so far, because people want to support them. Then let me see. And then there's coaching. I mean, once they're your teamie, what do? You have to help them still because they're newbies. If they're some rock stars like I have, who pretty much just, I sent them the email that I usually send, which Whitney and I believe Anya also did share their new consultant launch in our legacy leaders. I basically copied that, but just changed it around to add my YouTube channel and all these other things. I emailed them that, and I emailed them a few other things, which I think I did a training on that as well. But I share that with them. I talk to them about how they want to work their business. You have to work with them with what they want to do. If they want to make it a hobby, that's what it is, but you still train them. Those first 70 days are super important. So I found a new sponsor checklist in, I think it was a director share, I don't remember. And I share that with my team so that they also help out with their teamies. So that's how my team has grown, is not only my people that I'm doing for my incentive, as I'm there also for my downline, by helping the sponsors help their teamies, kind of thing. What's also helped besides one-on-one communication is shout outs, recognition. That has helped people want to push themselves because they want to be recognized. I know that's part of my love language. I love to be recognized just because it makes me feel appreciated. And some people, by just having that, will push themselves because they have somebody believing in them. So make sure you're doing that recognition. It could be postcards, it could be on the team page, it could be one-on-one, whichever way. Biggest thing for me too with my team is they know I care. I am there for them. Yes, during my business hours, but still there for them. And they know it. They know that I will share with them what I can. I will train them. I show up. I show them how I'm working. I've always shown up since day one. Even outside of my team, since I've been a director, on Whitney's team page, I just feel like if I have something to share, I'm going to share it. So I just consistently do all of these things. And that's what's helped me get to almost level 2. I think it'll be probably next month. But I share more than I think. But yeah, I just believe that if you're going to sponsor, be prepared to also coach and train. Don't just sponsor to get numbers on your team. And that's it for me.
Awesome. I love that. I love that, especially the front loading sponsoring. So if you're not where you want to be, you need to be thinking, you need to be pushing all the sponsoring conversations like now. Okay. Up next, we have Paulina.
Hi guys, so I'm Paulina. I promoted to director last month, and I have currently earned level 1 of the incentive, and I'm about 3,000 points away from level 2. So I want to talk about consistently high PRV. When we were in Myrtle Beach and we were at SFR, I also sat down. Mine does not look nearly as nice as Sylvia's, but I also sat down and wrote out my plan. As you can see, it's crossed out and scribbled all over because that is how I function. I am a pen and paper girl. Sylvia is my tech support. So my plan, one of the first things I thought about was, yes, I needed a sponsor and I knew I needed to grow my team and I knew I needed to front load all of those things, but I also knew that having consistently high PRV was going to make or break me getting this cruise for 2, because I'm shooting for level 3. And right on the top there, it was a PRV of minimum of 2,500 a month. Not only would that get me 15,000 points, it would also get me the PRV consistency points of 2,500, which was going to be a pretty substantial chunk of the points that I needed to earn this incentive. I've been pretty consistent in having high PRV since I joined, so I thought I would talk a little bit about how I do that. We talk a lot as leaders about having, leadership PRV and having 500 PRV, and that's just a minimum. 2K PRV has always been my goal. Since I have started growing, I have kind of pushed that goal a little higher to be closer to 3K PRV a month. And so last month I was really lucky to have over 4K PRV, and that comes primarily from parties. Parties. Yes, the Harvest Collection was amazing, and that was a nice icing on the cake and probably helped push me over that 4K number. But my minimum of parties is 5 to 6 a month. I'm not satisfied until I have 5 or 6 on the books. I'm always looking for new parties, and I do a variety of styles of parties. I have had a lot of success with Facebook parties, but I have a huge local customer base in my hospital, and I have a lot of success with the bag party idea, where I bring all my testers and they borrow all my testers and catalogs. And I think my tester bags have floated around every unit in that hospital at this point and come back. It probably has COVID by now. My tester bag does. But it's okay. They still smell good. Maybe we can't smell them anymore, but the testers still smell good. And I'm trying out a couple other new types of parties over the winter and the fall to see if anything else, really is successful. And if anything really works and doesn't drive me crazy, I'll definitely share that along the way. The other thing, this goes right along with what Sylvia was saying, is consistently showing up and consistently sharing on my team page, on my VIP page, and on my social media every single day. People don't see everything that we post. We know that. We know that the algorithms on Facebook and Instagram are horrible and that we have to beat them. So if I'm not sharing things every single day, if I'm not going live at least once a week and unboxing an order or showing how I'm using the stuff, showing my kids, coloring all over furniture and getting it off with counter clean, then people are missing stuff. Yes, that was probably one of my most popular videos when I showed my antique desk covered in Sharpie and counter clean taking it off. And then I try not to use stock flyers a lot. I try to use real photos. I try to make them fun. I try to make things interactive. I try to do, polls and use stories to get people to comment stuff, because all of that keeps the algorithms at bay, keeps things in people's news feeds, and keeps people seeing things. And then when that pops up, they can be like, oh my gosh, there's that Scentsy girl again. And look at, now she's got Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. Or, oh, look at that stuff that's coming out. Oh, look at that warmer of the month. And then you can start those genuine conversations with people, and maybe you recruit a new customer who could turn into a new teamie. The next thing that helps with my PRV is I really try to sample with intention. I try to think about what people have not tried if they're my repeat customers. I always give them a sample of this month's scent of the month, but if they haven't tried the laundry products, I might throw in a sample of that if I have that on hand, and try to get them to try more from our line than just the wax and the warmers. There's so much more. And the people who I have done that with are my club members, the ones who have fallen in love with the laundry products, who have fallen in love with the clean products, who have fallen in love with the dish soap or whatever, the Scentsy soap, and they want that stuff in their house every single month. They're using it every single week, and they're the ones who make clubs, and then their clubs just keep growing and growing and growing as these limited time waxes come in, and they don't want to lose them. So that's the other thing. My club members, I spoil my club members. I posted, I think last week, my thank you box for my club members this month, and it was big. And I said in the post, I don't usually go that big. It weighed over a pound, but I only had to mail one of them because I do have a huge local customer base. But I really do spoil my club members, and when I don't have to mail them as all of them, I really get to go a little bit above and beyond and put things that are fun in there and maybe weigh a little bit more and not have to mail it. And I always use stickers on my club thank you mail that that have my swag brag tag barcode on it, so that people can do that. Again, getting it back on social media, getting it in people's eyes, getting it in new people's eyes. And then just following up. I mean, this is stuff that we've all said before. You guys have heard this before, but it really does work. It really does keep people shopping with you, show people that you care about them as customers, show people that you're different from all the other Scentsy consultants in their news feed, and just follow up with them and check in and see how they're liking their stuff, what their favorite scent was, what they thought of the samples that you sent. Did their order come in okay? All of those simple things to check in on and see how they're doing, and offer them the opportunity to either refill, restock, host a party if they want to get something and just spent a ton of money. I always, if they see something that I posted, they're like, oh my gosh, I just ordered so much. Well, then let's host a party. Let's get that for discounted for you. So just building those relationships and being consistent and partying in ways that are fun. That's really all I got.
Keep forgetting that I'm the one who's like steering things and I'm just sitting here. Oh, that's right, Anya, unmute yourself. Okay, next we are going to hear from Leslie.
Okay, I'm here. I have the baby. She was sleeping, but there's construction going on in the basement. It's loud. Okay, so I took a bunch of notes because I was like, how did I earn this incentive? I don't know. I don't have like a system I'm following. What I did was I did earn the level 3 for the spring challenge or the spring incentive. And so I wasn't really like too concerned about getting sponsoring points. So I'm like, okay, I know I need to focus on PRV. how can I reach new customers? Because literally I have tapped out all my friends and family. I'm just like, I can't, I'm not going to expect this much sales out of them. So I have to figure out a way to get more. So the first thing I thought was like, okay, I had that cute little truck warmer from Father's Day. And so I took that into my husband's work. He works at a car dealership. And I just asked the receptionist, like, hey, can I leave this up here and I'll supply all the wax you need and whatever. Well, she had never heard of it. So of course she fell in love. She placed an order. And then the finance manager booked a party with me and it was almost $2,000 in sales, like insane. I also booked 3 parties off of that, right? So the thing I'm getting to is that you never know who's out there and who has money to spend, okay? So you really want to meet new people or meet all the people, really. Like, just don't leave any books unturned, okay? You have to put yourself out there. You can't sit back. And I say this to my team all the time. You cannot wait for people to come knocking on your door, begging you for Scentsy, because it's just not going to happen. Okay. You've got to put yourself out there. So when I looked at the points, I realized PRV needed to be my main focus. I had 2 new recruits. And so I was like, okay, they're going to hit certified. I've got this. I'm going to hit at least level 1. PRV is the most important. So I focused on booking parties. I literally started asking everybody, and a lot of people told me no, and that's okay. A lot of them who said no initially, I convinced them by saying it'll be really easy. You don't have to put so much pressure on like hitting rewards, right? Because we can just turn it into a shopping link. It's not a big deal. And they all like reluctantly said, okay, I'll try. That's what they say, I'll try. And then each of their parties was over 500. So they all came back saying, thank you so much for convincing me, because I really did have to convince them to have a party. So and I show gratitude. So I'm not saying, oh, you're welcome for all those rewards. I'm like, no, thank you for blessing me and helping my business by booking a party, because that's going to be the key to like them pushing their friends to have parties too, because they want your best interests as well, and not just them. Okay. I also put in my VIP, like, hey, I'm working towards this trip. I'm not going to have any shame. I want to go to Alaska. So I'm like, I need all your help, put it out there. I need all your help. So when I show up in their inbox, like, hey, I need to book a party, they're not going to tell me no, especially my friends and family, because they want to help me get to where I want to be. Okay. So being transparent about what your goals are, and that you're serious is huge. Okay. How I also book parties is I do subtle sneaks in my VIP. So I like, if something drops, like the limited edition holiday items or whatnot, I don't just run and post it. Okay. I ask like, who wants to see the sneak peeks that are coming in a few weeks. And only if they say me will I message them. Okay, but it's huge to get into people's inboxes. It's really hard to book a party off of just comments, like on a post. And I've yet to book a party off of a post that says, who wants to have a party? It doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. Okay, so I have to get in their inboxes to do that. Whether it's on a Scentsy post or if I'm intentionally scrolling and commenting on people's, I will find a way to try to message them about something silly and not make it about Scentsy right away. Okay, we'll get to that eventually. Don't let our limited items go to waste. You have to be smart about how you share it. You want to be able to message them. Okay, again, lately I've been pushing my testers onto people because I've been asking and they'll say no, but really they want to smell them. They just don't want to inconvenience you. They don't want to think about all the work that it's going to be to pick those up, drop them off, etc. Right? So I try to make it as easy as I can by saying, let me drop these off and then you take your time with them and then I'll come pick them up. That's worked really, really well for me in the past month or so. I've barely had my testers at all, right? They're not doing you any good sitting at home. You have to get them out, okay? Okay, the best thing and the literal turning point for my business it's been super recent, the last couple of months, is having like a legit follow-up system. The key is following up at the right time, okay? I used to follow up too early. So you just have to assess, see what you're doing wrong. If you do this right, you will book more parties. So I use a calendar. When an email comes in that an item's shipped, I click the little link. I track the date on my calendar and I follow up within 2 days to see if they got their order and what they think. That's changed my business completely, okay? Sorry, my baby girl is being loud. Okay, as for sponsoring, when the incentive kicked off, I had 0 prospects, okay, but I've signed like 3 people up since then. You don't make it about money. Who in your life can use a confidence boost or a community or friends? Okay, that's what is my hugest selling feature is the community. And that's been my #1 feedback from my new recruits is that they love the community and it's making them more confident. Okay, so there's other ways to get people to sign up. #2 is getting that best customer that you have to sign up. And I know it's hard to think that. You're like, no, I need them. I need them for my PRV, right? But you can't be selfish. It'll come back, okay? Last thing, planting a small seed, such as like, hey, girl, thanks for your second order this month. Maybe we should think about signing you up. And if it's a hardcore no, you move on, but that seed is planted and they're going to think about it. Okay, they might not tell you they're going to think about it, but it's at least going to be thought about. Another way is to share how Scentsy blesses you. Make sure you put the income disclosure in the post though, okay? I shared that I paid my camper and car payment this month with Scentsy, income disclosure, okay? People like extra money, right? So that's going to incentivize them to be at least a little more curious. And if you have a seed planted, it's just going to harvest that seed and the signups will come, okay? I promise. My last sign up, I didn't even know her, okay? I was at a party, one of my guests, I just had a good connection with her and I had been messaging her and she said something along the lines of, I wish my daughter would sign up. And I said, well, give me your info and tell her I'm going to message her. And that's how I got her sign up. So you never know who's lurking in these parties, who even might know somebody that wants to sign up, okay? So just keep sharing, keep posting, and getting connections, guys. Those are the hugest things, the follow-ups and the connections, okay? All right, that's all I have for you. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Loved that, Leslie. Love that, love that. Okay, up next we have Miss Katrina.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm out of breath because I literally just had to run to go pee. So I'm sorry. I was like, Leslie, keep talking, keep talking. I could hear her from the bathroom. Sorry. And that's for YouTube, you guys. No. I'm probably going to sound like a broken record. But first I wanted to say that I was very much prepared to come on here and be like, Whitney and Anya are not going to like what I say because I was like, I know how I earned level 1. I've promoted to star director. That's a big chunk of points right there. And I was like, I wonder if anybody's just going to be that honest and go, well, I promoted. That was a big chunk of points. But after talking to some people, and especially my husband, who he's always puts things into perspective for me, he's like, yeah, but how did you promote though? You didn't promote on accident. Like, you promoted naturally. You know, Whitney tells us all the time, and I'm sure Anya tells her group too, you know, the promotion will come. When it comes, it comes. When you focus on being the best, whatever title you are, that promotion will naturally come. And I know I've stepped on people's toes before, and I've said, you know, if you promote and then you're not paid a title the next month, you probably promoted on accident. It's the truth. Some people don't like hearing it, but when you are consistent with the 3 legs of success, I feel like those promotions come a lot more naturally, and being paid a title comes more naturally. So
like a lot of the other girls that have said this already, when we were in Myrtle Beach for SFR, as soon as they announced the incentive, we all literally were out at the pool that night, and we were talking about making a plan. We're like, okay, we didn't know like the logistics of like how many points we needed. And I remember looking at Whitney and I said, if you don't earn, I said, if someone doesn't earn this incentive, it's because they didn't try, period. Because they didn't try. And she's like, I'm gonna quote you on that. So if you don't earn it, and I was like, you could quote me on it. But we all sat around and made our plans as soon as we heard about it. And I mean, I very much have been very vocal about not a big cruise person, but hey, if SFR is an option, like fully paid, like that's me, that's where I'm going to be. And so I've earned level 1, not on accident, absolutely not on accident. The first thing is you have to make a plan. And that was the first thing we did in this group, was helping everyone make their plan. Right now, in my opinion, you should be tweaking your plan, because we're about to be at that midway point. You should be tweaking your plan, because if you're not on track, figure out how to get back on track. Have a backup plan. I have a plan. I had a plan for level 3, but I also had a just in case, like bare minimum level 2, like, cause I was like, worst case scenario, I was like, we're buying you in, babe, like for level 3. If I don't earn level 3, we're buying you in, but we're going, you know? See, and that's, Mindy says the same thing that my husband said, like, you were consistent, you worked hard, it didn't happen by accident. And so what I did was I went into this incentive period with only 500 points from the last incentive. I was really bummed that I only hit level 1, but I was like, hey, I hit level 1. So I did have 500 sponsoring points that I brought over from that. So I knew that I needed to focus on sponsoring. I have planted gardens of seeds so far. And I will be very honest and transparent. I am with my team all the time. I've not sponsored anyone new this incentive period. But I have planted gardens of seeds. So I'm not giving up, but what I chose to do when I saw that was lacking for me, one, you have to identify your weaknesses. You have to be vulnerable enough to say, this is an area that I am lacking and I need help. And it doesn't matter what the title is. If there's a freaking star consultant and I'm a star director, there's a star consultant that's killing it with sponsoring, I want you to teach my team, which is what I did. I went after my top team and group, top sponsors from last month, Emily and Mindy, and they just did a training for my team last night on sponsoring. And your girl took all the notes because I was like, this is where I need help with. So while I know that I'm struggling in that, I don't struggle. It's like, and it's, yes, me being like humble brag, whatever. I feel like leadership is a pretty strong suit for me. And so I knew that I needed to focus on building up my leaders who were showing up. Not building up all my leaders, but building up my leaders who were showing up. The ones who weren't just talking about it, who were actually doing something. So with that, I got some more sponsoring points because I built up a star and I built up a director. Then I had 2 other frontlines who joined right before the incentive period. So I got 250 apiece from them because they certified. Okay. So those little points do come, you know, they do add up. But being consistent with my leadership, being consistent with showing up for my team, being consistent with trainings, meetings, whether only 2 people show up or 10 people show up, you be consistent and show up for the ones that show up for you. It's been something that I've been preaching the last few months because I've been tweaking my systems. You hear a lot of your leadership say that like your system should always be evolving. And then when it comes to my PRV, in my original plan, my PRV was okay, 2,500 every month, like, cause I want that consistency. Well, I've not had the best PRV either. I'm being honest and transparent with you. I've not had the best PRV. I have not given up, not given up. I've thought outside the box when it comes to PRV. If I'm not getting parties, or I don't know, if I sat back and I was like, you didn't really ask that many people last month, Katrina, did you? So I was honest with myself, and I came out of that comfort zone, came out of that bubble, and started booking more parties. But my PRV, I have had over 1,200 PRV every month of this incentive, which is not the best. I'm sure somebody watching is like, are you kidding me? Like, I can't even get over 500. Maybe that's your goal. It's not a goal for me. I'm used to having like 2K plus PRV. I know I can do it. Honestly, I know I can do 3K PRV. So, but being consistent with my PRV, at least having over 1K, and knowing that I have an amazing customer base. I have an amazing VIP group that gets me that PRV, and I get it literally from showing up in my VIP group. It is not from, posting all these like, hey, this is launching. Hey, this is launching. I mean, Whitney's in my VIP group. She sees the stuff that I share in there. She sees the stuff that my VIPs share in there. I reward the heck out of my referrals. I've gotten teamies from referrals. I've gotten parties. I've gotten orders. New customers, reward your referrals. If you don't have some kind of referral system down, I kind of don't have a system down yet, but I know I need one. But I've basically just been going, $30 warmer, pick one. What do you want? Like, thank you so much. I just got an order off of, this person that you referred to me. When I had someone who referred a teamie to me, it was very hard for me to not just be like, pick anything out of the catalog. So work on a system for referrals, but take care of your referrals is my main thing. Yes, I am the gift giver. Y'all know that that's my love language. So that's why it's hard for me. So you should definitely have a system down for your referrals. But honestly, follow-ups. Follow up. If you're not following up, you're not building connections and relationships with your customers, and you have no idea what's going on with their life. And when you're following up with them, be authentic, be real. I have been on the struggle bus hardcore with the beginning of this pregnancy, and I've been very honest with my customers, and my VIPs have been so great. No one has complained about getting Happy Meal late. They don't care. They don't care what the Happy Meal looks like. They don't care when it gets there. They just care that they eventually get it. And they're still so excited. I've not had anybody complain. I've had customers actually reach out to me and just check in on me, because I reach out and check in on them too. But just being very transparent, I feel, with your customers. And someone earlier said, like, tell your customers that you're trying to earn an incentive. Like, that's not the whole reason, but like, I actually had someone book a party for next month with me because she saw my post about where I shared the email that Cincy sent that said, you're so close to earning level 2 of this incentive. And she was like, I saw you're trying to earn a trip. So yeah, I'll do a party. I normally don't do parties, but I saw you. It's like, I'll take it. Thanks. Like, just be real and be authentic. And honestly, consistency, it pays off. It pays off. You're not going to see it pay off right away. You can't think, okay, well, I've done this every day this month, so why am I not seeing the fruits of my labor, right? No, you need to be consistent. We're almost 3 months into this. This is the 3rd month of this incentive. So yeah, I'm finally seeing my consistency paying off. I'm consistent with coaching my team. I'm consistent with building my leaders. I'm consistent with showing up for my team. I'm consistent for showing up for my VIPs, and it's paying off. I've always been paid at title, because those things are going to happen naturally when you're consistent. When you are doing, I'm brain farting. When you're doing all those things, it's just going to happen naturally. It's not going to feel forced, is what I'm getting at. So where sometimes it will feel like luck. And then if you're lucky, someone will point out to you that it's not luck, that no, you've just been really consistent. And that's why it happened. This is a result of the consistency. So I hope that made sense. Next.
Love it. Result of the consistency. Be consistent, you guys. Be consistent. That is so important. All right, Miss Emily, you ready to go?
I am. Today was a crazy day. I'm on about 4 hours of sleep, and my daughter had surgery this morning, but she's doing great. She's in bed. It's all good. I did take notes because, my brain is a little tired, but I'm so excited to be here. Absolutely loving hearing what everybody else has been doing. Some things are very similar. I think we're probably all doing a lot of these things similarly. I also had some points from promoting to superstar consultant last month, and I am proud of that. And I think it's great to have points for promoting because, like Katrina just said, it's literally showing that you're showing up, which I think is so important. I can hear us all saying that, and I really feel that it's true. I was in the shower earlier. I thought of Katrina because I know she gets a lot of her good thoughts from the shower, a lot of her ideas. And I was in there and I was like, man, I feel like it's like 99% showing up, 99% commitment, 99% heart, 99% soul, and 1% luck. There is a little luck in there because sometimes you get really lucky and you find that teamie who just gets it and they get you and you just vibe together and you have someone else who has that same motivation. I have been very fortunate recently to have found a few people who I feel like, have those good bones. I love sponsoring people. It's been really fun to see people take their business into their own hands and decide for themselves how they're going to run it. I'm always there to help, and I do my trainings. I show up for my trainings. I show up for myself. I show up for my team. I show up for my VIPs. I think showing up is a big part of success. When people see you being consistent and they see you sharing consistently and they see you sharing how much you love the products, they're going to believe in you. So I think having people, building that trust and having people able to believe in you, whether it's your customers or your team, I think that's so important. And I really do credit a lot of that to how I earned level 1. I book a lot of parties. I try to have at least 6 a month. I can't do more than like 3 a week. That is my sweet spot. I will say that when I do more than 3, I feel a little cray. And I just feel like I can't focus and it gets a little out of control for me. So I try to have, I think 2 is my sweet spot. I like to have 2 parties booked a month. I especially love booking them for the end of the month, going into the beginning of the next month. I try to take maybe a week in between somewhere in that month to take a break from parties. And I focus on posting in my VIP group all month long. I try to make sure it's a party in there all the time. I do giveaways. We do fun stuff. I share my real life. I absolutely try to share the authenticity of my life, who I am. I am a real person, real mom, not a robot. I do mess up on lives and we have family things that happen. And I think that that's okay. I like that people see that. And my VIPs all get a kick out of it too. So let me get back to my notes because I did scroll a little tiny bit. I will say throughout this year, almost year that I've been doing this, I'm always trying to learn and grow. And I really try to talk to my team about that a whole bunch because I want them doing the same thing. I feel like if we're not learning and we're not growing, then we're not ever going to get to that next phase of our business or that next phase of whatever it is in our lives. So being willing to learn, having an open mind, and searching out those trainings. If you don't know how to do something, I think it's really important to find those trainings out there. I've got to say, I love Sylvia's trainings. I really, really appreciate them. They help me out a lot with tech. And then I can go ahead in turn and share those things with my team too, because I know that a lot of them feel the same way. So yeah, girl, appreciate you. And then I also want to say, I've learned to do a lot of uncomfortable things. In the beginning, I think for probably most of us, it was tough to have those booking conversations. And a great way to book parties is by sharing with people what we have for offers, limited time offers, what we have. I loved what Leslie said about sharing. Hey, who wants to see this? And then once you get into somebody's inbox, once you're in their DMs, you can sweet talk that party up for them. And then once you have a party booked for somebody, that's such an easy way to have a join convo. So that's what I've been doing, is just finding out who really loves these products, who I look for those green flags, who wants more, who's going to be ordering again soon, who's obsessed, and then let's do a party and get that for you for free and half off. And then once they hit rewards, I'm like, did you know that you just earned access to the host exclusive join kit? Did you know you can probably get it for free? Did you know that if you decide to join, you're going to earn a paycheck right away because I'm going to flip this party to you. So that's something else I've been working on. Does it hurt a little bit to give up that PRV? A little bit. Sometimes it does, but I know that it's going to pay off for this person in the end. And as long as I have my 2K PRV, which is ultimately always my goal each month. That's my minimum goal, is I want 2K PRV. As long as I have that, then I'm happy with flipping PRV to people, especially if they're working for it. I will say I won't flip it to someone who doesn't show up for their party, because if they don't show up for their party, they probably won't show up for their business, but I also don't prejudge. So now that I got all over the place with that one too, planting those seeds early, planting them early, and just, mentioning here and there, the perks of being a consultant. I love sharing that with friends and people and customers and whomever. I'll find a way to just slide it in there. Like if someone mentions, oh, this month especially, oh, I love snowmen, wow, that's a great opportunity for me to just send them a message like, hey, just so you know, this is what's coming up. As a consultant, we have early access to see these warmers. We can get paid from them, and then we get a sweet deal on 9 bars of wax. So that's something I always like to talk about with my potential teamies, are the perks, getting paid for your orders, and try to just try to feel out, maybe, obviously I share the things that I love about being a consultant, but trying to figure out like how it would benefit them too, how this business would bless them as well. So I said it a few times last night and I got joked on for it, but I really do offer up the opportunity like it's a side of fries. I really do. I try not to make a big deal about it. I just like water off a duck's back. Just, you could make $100 off this party right now if you decide to join. That's so hard to say no to. I have had people say no to me. That's okay. They told me they were going to be my best customer for life. And they weren't wrong. They've been really good customers. I'm okay with that. But I also wanted I was like, I'm sorry, I had to offer it up, had to tell you. So when you see those green flags that someone, don't make it weird. Just throw it out there. Just like it's any old thing. And you know what? In the beginning, it probably will feel weird to you, but the more you do it, I promise it does get easier, or maybe it doesn't, but you get better at pretending that it's not as hard as it is. So trying to come at it from a confident point of view. So practicing until it gets easier, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. And I think sharing your love of Scentsy. Yeah, your love of your business, your love of Scentsy. I love to share the sense of community that I get from being a Scentsy independent consultant. I love talking with other consultants. I love brainstorming. I love seeing the trainings. I love just the camaraderie, the cheering of people on. I think that's so awesome that we all celebrate each other. Yeah, sharing our passions, for each of us, they might look a little bit different, but I think that that's one of the most wonderful things about it too, is, we can all do this, we could all do it well, and we could all do it in a different way. So I think that's just about it from me. I'm going for level 3, almost to 2.
It's gonna happen, girl. It's gonna happen. So many good nuggets in there. I love that. I really do. Okay, Miss Mindy, you're up next.
Okay. Hey, everyone. Okay, so I did create a plan, an outline of like best case scenario, how I'm going to hit the incentive. Best case scenario, obviously promoting to director was on there. And then I even picked certain people from my team who I thought, well, this person might promote. This person will probably promote. I don't think this person's going to. I'm not going to put them on there. Like I literally like prejudged, pre-picked everything. I'm going to hit director. This is going to happen. This is going to happen, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. And then I made another plan for like worst case scenario. Like, what if I didn't hit director? What do I have to do to make up for that? How much more PRV am I going to have to get every month on top of what I already do to make up for those points that I'm not going to get if I don't hit director? Because you just don't know. You don't know. My whole team could stop and walk away from me yesterday. I mean, you don't know. So I didn't want to have this plan, it be the only plan, and then it implode. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the people on that plan who I was for sure 100% certain I knew were going to promote still have yet to do so. And it's like they're so close that they'll hit it next month when Senate Warmer of the Month roll. I mean, it's like driving me insane. I mean, they're so close. And the people who I honestly said like there's not going to happen have done it. So I made the plan, and then I decided to put that plan away and focus back on my business, because I have realized that what this incentive is in place for is to push you out of your comfort zone to grow your business and become better at everything, because you cannot earn this incentive if you are not becoming better at everything. It's not there for you. You're not going to hit it if you just coast. I feel like, with the spring incentive, it was less intimidating to me because there weren't sponsored points. Okay. And in this one, it's like, nope, if I want to get on this trip, I need to coach, I need to sponsor, I need to help, I need to be there for my team, or it's not happening. The end. It is not happening. I'm not going on that trip. I can party as much as I want, but if I'm not there every step of the way that my team needs me, it's not happening. It forces you to do more. It forces you to grow. It forces you to be better. And then you have to decide to stay at that level once the incentive is over. Okay, so I decided to take that aspect of it. First and foremost, what did I want? I want to promote to director. I'm going to put the incentive aside and I'm going to do what I need to do to get myself there. I'm going to focus on promoting to director. I'm going to focus on tightening up my PRV. I'm going to focus on having more parties, having better parties, having more exciting parties, having a better VIP group, a more exciting VIP group. My VIP group, guys, is so fun. It's a fun group to be in. And when people are in my VIP group, I want them to think, oh, Mindy's posting something. Let me go see what it's about. I focused on that first as for myself. And then I focused on my team and, okay, this person is really close to promoting. Let me see where her head is at. Let me see what she wants to do. Let me see how she's working with her downline. With another person that I had, let me see if she wants a downline, because do you know that like you have 1,334 GWV by yourself. So if you had one person underneath you, I mean, it's a done deal. That's active. It's a done deal. Where are you at with it? I didn't talk to them about the incentive until they were in a place where it was benefiting them. Okay, so I just had a teamie that she had a teamie promote to certified. Okay, so do you know that those points go towards your incentive? Okay, so I remember joining when the Disney incentive was going on. And I remember seeing like my workstation being like, what in the world is this? This is overwhelming. This is a lot. There's a lot of freaking circles. There's a lot of numbers. I don't know what this is. Is the green good? Is the white good? I don't know what's happening, whatever. I was overwhelmed and I don't want that for them. So I actually took a back seat with talking about it with my team because I don't want them to be overwhelmed too. I want I want them to focus on their short-term goals because in the end, that's what's going to get us all to where we want to go. Okay. My short-term goal was like, I want to hit director. That's it. I'm not worried about a boat. I'm not worried about SFR. I'm not worried about my husband getting on the boat. I'm not worried about it. I want to get to director. And then I want this person to promote to lead. When they did, I wanted them to focus on promoting to star consultant. This person has told me that she just wants to focus on being paid a title consistently as a lead. Okay, so let's work on that goal. Well, if she works on that consistently and promotes and sponsors, she's going to then promote to star naturally. And in the end, what does that do? That gives her sponsoring points. That gives me sponsor points. That gets me on the boat. Then that gets my husband on the boat. Then it all feeds into it. But I have been focusing on smaller pictures more than the big ones, because think about a puzzle. Okay. A puzzle has a ton of different little pieces. When you put them all together, that's what makes the big picture. For me, I needed to compartmentalize everything. Okay. I needed to break it down and focus on it. And now I'm at that level where I'm like, okay, I feel like there's a big jump between level 2 and level 3 in the incentive. I feel like it's a bigger jump than 1 to 2. I feel like it's bigger. I feel like it's harder, but I'm just going to stay focused on helping my team accomplish what they want to accomplish within their own business. If I have a lead consultant that's working towards becoming a star, I'm just going to focus on that and help her get there as soon as she can, as soon as she's ready, as soon as she's able. I know that that'll happen quickly. And then another piece of my puzzle will get added to it. But I keep that to myself, okay? Because I want them to know that it is about them. Because when they promote, then they will get those points too. And that'll be huge for them. Just like every step that we've gotten so far is huge for us, it needs to be huge for them too. They're building their own puzzle also. So I've really tried to look at I guess I've taken out the middle picture, right? The trip is the middle picture. The big picture is Scentsy is challenging you to grow your business. Scentsy is challenging you to be better, to do better, to work smarter, to work harder too. Work smarter and harder. You got to work harder to figure out how to work smarter. They're challenging you to do all of these things. And you know what? Boat or no boat, I freaking love it. Because not that I was at a standstill, because I don't think that I was, and I don't think that I am, and I haven't been. But it is great every now and then for someone to be like, but can you do this? Hold my bottled water. That's all I ever drank. Hold it and watch me. Yeah, you want to challenge me to grow my business. You want to challenge me to have a bigger team. You want to challenge me to have more Scentsy Club members. Bring it on. Let's do it. Oh, and here's a trip to Alaska with your husband. And same as you, Sylvia, that'll be our honeymoon. We've never gotten a trip. So I'm here for it, and I'm going to do the back end and focus on the back end of what's going on to get me there, because that'll create a habit of always doing that. So is the trip driving me? Has the trip, changed my thought a little bit? Yeah, because I want to go on that boat. I've never been on a cruise. I've never been away alone with my husband. I want to go do those things, but I also want to instill more greatness in myself, in my business, what I'm doing for myself, what I'm doing for my team. And I've so far, knock on wood, have had success with that because I'm closing in on level 3 and I'm okay with that. And it's for me, it's the small pieces of the 1,000 piece puzzle that is helping me get there. I'm not sitting at home looking at my plan because like I said, I mean, guys, it's literally like she doesn't even have to get warmer of the month, just scent of the month. I mean, it's so close, but it's like, you know what? I can't count on that. I'm not going to count on that. I'm not going to put that pressure on her. I'm not going to put that pressure on me. It falls back to showing up for the people who show up for you, showing up for the people who want it, showing up for the people, even the girl who says to me, I'm not focused on lead or not focused on star. I want to focus on being paid consistently as a lead. Great. When were you paid as a lead last? On the 25th. Awesome. Let's go for the 23rd. Okay, and then next month, I want you to go for the 20th. And so on and so on and so on. And eventually she's going to hit that 2,500. Okay, so for me, it's the small puzzles and it's focusing on what Scentsy actually wants you to do right now with this trip. This is the sprinkles. Okay, that's what I've been doing. And that's all.
Thank you, Mindy. That was good. That was so good. All of those things are so important. I feel like so much of it is literally the 3 legs of success. Just sticking to the 3 legs of success. Like, you don't need a color palette, okay? You don't need some fancy thank yous. Like, keep it simple. 3 legs of success. All right. Whitney, do you want to go or you want me to go?
Okay, then you can close it out. That works.
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. So, hi guys. I am so glad that all of these ladies have come and talked to all of us tonight because it has shown a lot and hopefully you have realized it. Before I talk about how I've earned it, I do want to say that 5 of the 8 ladies on tonight attended SFR last year. So they came to Myrtle Beach, they got to know people, they invested time in their business. You heard everyone who was at SFR talk about how they made a plan that night as soon as we got the points, all of those things. Super important. Super important. Okay. The other thing is, everyone that has spoken tonight has earned the incentive in different ways as far as how their points look. Okay, so we all have different levels of sponsoring points. We all have different levels of PRV. But it all, like Anya just said, it all comes back to the 3 legs. And so we're all balancing this stool, right? But nothing said tonight is like tons of ideas, tons of aha moments. But when you get down to the skill set of our business, it's the 3 legs. So if you ever get to a point in your business where you're like, I don't know where to go, you pull the 3 legs off the wall. Hopefully you have it at your desk, something, and you start going through there and doing those things. Okay. This incentive, like Mindy said, it teaches us how to work our business. That's something that we talked about the very first month in this program is Scentsy does these incentives for us, right? But really, if we were to focus as much as we are in the incentive, if we focused on the things that we've been focused on the last 2.5 months all the time, imagine how much our businesses would grow. Okay. It's just like that simple. It is that simple. Okay. So how I have personally earned the incentive, first thing is high PRV. 13,000 of my points has come from PRV, more than 13,000. Okay. So high PRV, you get to choose your PRV. You have total control over that. Okay. You don't necessarily get control over who's going to join your team. You don't necessarily get control over who's going to work their business once they're here, but you get to control your PRV and you can earn level 1 without any sponsoring points. Okay. High PRV. And we talked about this week. If you're a leader, it's a non-negotiable. It's part of your business. When you start saying, I will accept nothing less than 2K, guess what starts happening? Nothing less than 2K. Same thing for this incentive. When I came in, I was like level 3 minimum. Level 3 minimum. And that's what's going to happen. Okay. I already know level 3 is done. It's going to happen. I already know that, because guess what? I said it. I said it's going to happen. And that's a mindset thing. But if you come in here and you're like, oh, I have 3 months left, I might earn level 1. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. You probably won't earn level 1, to be honest with you. But if you come in here and you're like, I earn level 1, I'm doing this, this, and this to do it. I'm booking 6 parties a month. And you make a plan, which everyone has said, it's going to happen. And we still have half the incentive period to go. And to show you that me, Anya, and Mindy have already earned level 2 with really about 2 months into the incentive, that can show you what you can do with 3 months, guys. Okay. So if you're not where you want to be, it's not too late. It's not too late really until the last week of the month the last week of the incentive, in my opinion. Okay. Edit your plan. We've already talked about that, so I'm not going to go into that anymore, but that's something that we're going to talk about in the group, is really reevaluating where you're at. Are you where you want to be? Are you farther ahead? If you me, Anya, and Mindy, I'm going to say right now, we should be working towards top 75. No questions asked. Okay. Where we are in our business, there's no reason to be like, oh, I did it, I'm done, we're chilling. No, we're not chilling. Look at what you've done so far. And this goes for our level 1 earners too. Look at what you've done so far. Like, this is just the beginning of the incentive. It really is. And then the other thing is the promotion points for my team. So I have currently right now 10,000 promotion points for people on my team. So that means that my frontline have promoted. 2,000 of those points are from new people since the incentive started. So that tells you that I've had 8 frontline promote in the last 2.5 months. That's incredible, first of all. But that did not rely on one person. That didn't rely on 2 people. That didn't rely on 3 people. I have a big ass frontline, excuse my French. Okay. Because that is my focus. My business, my livelihood, my family's livelihood will never rest on one person except myself. Okay. Because that's how wide I've built my foundation. Okay. And that's what I encourage you to do. You never know what people are going to do with this business. You don't ever know when that light switch is going to flip. I don't know if Jen Palmer's on here, but she's one of my front line who that light switch has flipped for her. Okay. She is doing insane because it finally clicked. Okay. She was a reinstate from a party. I've never met her in real life. Just like, I don't even know who said it, but you never know what that opportunity, it was Leslie. You never know when that opportunity of meeting someone or talking to someone is going to change your business, change your month, change your year, change your incentive. Okay. So make sure you're always putting yourself out there. And then obviously always keeping that accountability with your front line for promotions, not just helping them, but making sure they're helping their people. Right? If you have a superstar consultant or a star consultant frontline, you need to make sure, keep dibs, keep accountability that they are also helping their people. They're being the leader. They're showing up. You're encouraging them to do things. Leslie's not my frontline, but she just earned the incentive today. And I was like, I understand if it's too late, but I would love for you to talk. She's like, yes, absolutely. That is what we should all be doing. We should be doing it scared. We should be doing it uncomfortable, because that's when things are going to happen. So yeah, that's all I have, because everybody else covered everything.
Awesome. I love that. So good. Something that Whitney just said kind of really just struck me when she said, well, and Leslie said it too, but then she repeated it. You never know when the opportunity is going to come. So in that too, make sure that you're showing your best foot. You can be real and authentic, but people are watching you. They're getting to know you, right? Whether it's someone from a party or a customer or, a potential person who's going to join your team, they're watching you. So think about that too, just as you're going through doing things for your business. Okay. I know even for me, like I get extreme anxiety all to the point where like I will sweat through my shirt if I'm trying to go talk to someone about my Scentsy business. I don't know why, I just get really nervous. But my husband is like, you want one of her cards? She's a Scentsy person. You need some good scents. And like, it makes me sweat, but he does it all the time. And when we're on public. So for me, I'm like, if I know that's coming, I can look a whole hot mess, but at least I don't need to be outside yelling at my kids, being ridiculous, just think about things like that as you're going along and you're doing the Scentsy business. People are watching you. You are the Scentsy person. Okay. So for me, how I've earned level 2, I had incentive points from the last incentive. I will harp on it for forever. Summer incentives are so crazy important. Okay. Some people can be like, oh, it's not a trip. It's a thing. I don't care what it is. It is important. You want those points. Also, majority of you on here that I know, you're leaders, or even if you don't think you're seen as a leader, you are one because you're the 1% and you're showing up. It's important for you to work towards those incentives. I am a people pleaser. Surprise, I know, but I am. And so for me, I know people are watching me. It makes me work 10 times harder. Like I will lead from the front. End of story. They're watching me. I'm not going to sit here and be a superstar director that people are like, I don't really know how she got there. No, I will lead from the front. End of story. Okay. So that is super important, is the summer incentives. Okay. Especially for your confidence. If you can do that, that's a stepping stone to you being able to do this. And it's the same thing with your team. So as you're going through this, remember that when it comes up next year, remember that, okay? So you can be harping on it for your team. It is going to bless them immensely when they realize, oh, whoa, wait a minute. I can do that by just doing my job. Okay. So your confidence, super important for so many reasons. Next is really just being intentional with your front line. Kind of like Mindy said, it's going to be very important. So for me, I do this by explaining the comp plan. If I look on the 15th and I see someone can promote, okay, I do send them an email and I send to them and I'm like, look at the comp plan. What do you need to get to the next level? If you want that, I need you to message me so that we can work on a plan together. You're not in this by yourself, we're in it together, okay? That's one way I do that. If I've noticed that they've been on my reports, and Chloe and Justin just did a reports training, so look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's gonna help you. If I see they've been on there more than 1 month at a time, I am then going to find that person on Facebook. I've been stalking people. And I'm like, hey, with a little voice message, just so you know, you've been on reports and you've not responded to my email. Is this something you want to do or not? Then I can leave them alone if they ignore me. But some people are like, oh, dang, I didn't even see that email. Somehow it ended up in junk or somehow they missed it. I don't know, whatever it is, right? But they're like, I really do. So then I can work closely with them and help them get to their goals. All right. And even as you go along, yeah, I'm sure a lot of you know, not all of your leaders are as intentional with their teamies as you are. Okay. But if they're in your downline, they're still people you need to be working with. All right. So think about those things. And then, yes, this is why you need to look at reports consistently, is what I have. Consistently looking at your reports. It's not something that I was like, oh, I really need to learn. And then I went from star to superstar to director and was like, oh crap, I've got to learn this. So be thinking about reports now and looking at those numbers and seeing what people need and just talk to them. So many people don't get it. Like to me, when I look at the comp plan, it makes complete sense. That is not the case for everybody. They're like, what? Why? I don't understand. And I'm like, what? How do you not get it? But they just don't. So break it down for them if they need it. Make sure you understand it too. And then you're just going to train up your people. Okay. Another thing is paid at rank points. Consistently making sure that you are paid at rank is going to be such a blessing for you. It's literally just you're doing your job, you're training up your team, it's handing you extra points. Okay. So, because I was just looking a little bit ago before this, Jeannie is someone that comes to mind right off the bat. I literally was like, okay, she's paid at title day. Awesome. Look, she just got more points because she's paid at rank. Those paid at rank for consistency is going to be huge. And then, of course, promoting. Focusing on sponsoring, promoting, and doing all those things. But you've just really got to make sure, like Mindy said, you're working with your team. As much as you are earning this for yourself, yes, but you've got to be working with your team too, because you want them to earn it. Like, let's all go hang out on the boat. Okay. Can we like take our people with us, but then leave them for an hour and like let them sit over here and all go hang out together for a minute? Like, let's all go and be together. Okay. That's what it's about. You heard community is so important so many times. Our community is bomb. We are super, super blessed. Okay. So those are things we need to be focused on, all the things everybody said. And then to wrap it up, I want you guys just to think about the fact that Scentsy gives so many points for so many different things. Why? Because we're not good at everything. We're human. We're flawed. That's okay. That's why I told you in the beginning, wherever you're lacking, go find a training. Go find a training and do the work. Okay? Find a training, do the work. It's going to be so good. None of us are fabulous at everything, but we're going to be better in all of the areas when this incentive is done. Only we're not going to stop doing all the things better. We're going to keep going because it's going to be a part of who we are and a part of our business from here on out. Okay. That's all I got for y'all tonight. That's it.